I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Happy little Monday. Virginia tore it up in Tallahassee over the weekend, going there for Parents Weekend.
It was fun. I went to a bar called Potbellies.
Okay.
They call it Pots for short.
Okay.
It was so much better than that first bars that she brought me to a few weeks ago. The Strip, kind of gross. But Pots, I loved Potbellies. It was such a cute vibe.
That's how you know when a place is trendy and cool, it gets a nickname.
Right.
Going to Pots.
Going to Pots, baby.
I loved Pots. And a lot of the parents had got tables at Pots. And so they were just doing tables and bottle service. And so I went over there and mooched off of the parents that were doing that. So that was nice.
Okay. Now, there's kind of the Strip. Is that different from where College Town is?
So the Strip is like right across from campus, and it's really close to where some of her friends' dorms are.
Okay.
The Strip is like really close to like...
Is it kind of on a hill?
Yes. So
Okay.
you have to enter the Strip from the backside.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And it's like all these little bars in like a strip mall, but it's kind of tricky because from the street you wouldn't know that it's a row of bars, but around the backside, and then you go into them, and then it's like four. There's a clubby bar, there's a country bar, there's like a sportsy bar. Like it's like 5 little bars in one strip.
Okay.
But it is bare bones, baby. It is no frills. It is very
Right.
roughing it as far as a bar atmosphere for
Right.
me.
And then the fancier place is College Town. Is that what it is?
I liked Potbellies. It was fancier. I don't know if that's the College Town area.
College Town, you showed me a place called Township. And
Okay, so that's a totally different area.
Right, yeah.
So Potts is not right next to College Town. Potts is kind of in its own little area. And then College Town, you have like Madison Social,
right.
Cooches.
Yeah. That's the College Town area.
And Township, which we loved Township. That was a great sports bar for watching football yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been in. That's where we went. I mean, I did go to the Potts area, but we didn't really spend a lot of time in there because it was kind of ratchet. So we went to the College Town area, and that was really nice
Yes.
with the bars there.
It's elevated over there.
Okay.
College Town is elevated.
Okay.
I went to some big old country bar that I think is still there. I think it's considered legendary. I think that's where I saw Kenny Chesney. He was just chilling out there. No one knew who the fuck he was. And he was playing his song that was about to go on the radio, and he played it twice, and it ended up being a big old hit. And I think it's still there. Legendary
Okay.
cowboy bar. Don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Nothing. All right, you know it. Pots, baby. Pots. Go to Pots. Try to relate. You guys were just talking Tallahassee shit.
Oh, you got in there. You got in there.
I know, dick.
I watched a little bit of the game. I thought things may not go well at first, but Florida State pulled it out, so everybody was happy. There's nothing more depressing than blowing a game that you're supposed to win.
Oh, that would have been bad.
Yes. You would have known what it would have felt like to be a Miami Hurricane.
I now know, too, if you're going to that stadium, there is one side to sit on and there's one side that you don't want to sit on because the sun, just like at Dolphin Stadium,
Right.
the sun is on the visitor side. That's where my tickets were. And we had to leave at halftime. We were cooked.
Did that coach get put under fire on the after the game in the press conference? I didn't see any of it.
Mario Cristobal, coach for the Miami Hurricanes. They had the game won. They had a 99.9% chance of winning on the snap where they decided to run the ball instead of taking a knee to end the game. The guy then, they called a fumble, and that's debatable, but regardless, 2 plays later, Georgia Tech scores. Yes, it is going to be a tough one for him to live down because they're calling it the most boneheaded coaching decision maybe in all of college football history, but definitely for the Miami Hurricanes.
Did they give him shit there during the press conference, or did he say, I'm not talking?
Yeah, and he said, yeah, we should have taken a knee. And so that's all you can do. He kind of owned up to it. He's like, yep, we kind of blew it. And so,
Wow.
yeah, and because I had dozed off because the game, I'm like, okay, it's over. Canes win. And I just kind of woke up and I saw they were talking to the Georgia Tech coach. I'm like, they never do that. And then I saw the Georgia Tech players celebrate. I'm like, what the hell just happened? And I rewound. I'm like, oh my gosh, I could not believe it. So I went right on Twitter because that's where I like going to see fan bases bitch.
Sure.
And I've got a whole section that's just Miami Hurricanes. And oh my gosh, the meltdown that was going on. People are like, this is a fireable offense. Get them out now.
Wow.
Burn those jerseys because they wore special jerseys. And they'd even said, you know, if you're going to wear these cool jerseys, they do it for recruiting because they had about 40 to 50 huge recruits on the sidelines. And they wanted to make it flashy and impressive. And then they said, you know, you got to at least win if you're going to wear something new and flashy like that. So they will never wear those jerseys ever again.
Could you imagine if everybody had to do a press conference after every time they did a job? Like, for example, you have to, every single day after the show, you had to sit down and then have all these people asking you, so Kevin, I noticed today's show, Virginia will not shut the fuck up. What is all that about? How do you explain this? Imagine if everyone had to do that for their job.
Well, yeah, to me, I would say this is that press conference where like you can send us the emails that are challenging and whatever, and maybe we'll comment on the show. But yeah, that would be tough because we all have moments in our job where, yeah, that was kind of boneheaded, and you're right. You've got to try to explain it, and sometimes you just got to say, yeah, we made the wrong call there.
Well, a lot of times, you know, the worst shit just happened when it comes to sports. So you're getting off of probably one of your worst moments ever. Then you have to sit down. It's so raw. You have to. Then you've got people really needling you.
Yes.
You get a shitty show, and immediately after you have to go answer 10 questions when you're getting needled.
Yeah, I would like to see what the equivalent of what the Miami Hurricanes coach did on Saturday be to any other job. You know, something that it's just you could walk your way through it. It's not even a question. You know this is it. And you massively have ruined. I mean, the season, in a sense, is kind of ruined. They got to go to North Carolina and play a really tough game this week. So, in a sense, they almost really, I'd say, for where they thought they could go, they've kind of ruined the season in just one boneheaded decision.
Yeah, what's the equivalent to if you're a teacher? What would be the same type? Is that you walking into class? I think you're chugging a bottle of vodka.
I would
that the
think
same?
so. Yeah, I think you walk into class and chug Fireball. I don't know.
Is that the same kind of?
I don't know. It's a great
move?
question. I don't know what it would be, but yeah, that's tough. So anyway, he's having a tougher day, but he gets paid $8 million a year, which I don't. So I assume that's a lot easier to deal with.
You got to take your lumps. When you look at all the zeros in your bank account, you're like, all right, I'll take a few lumps.
For $8 million, you got to answer the tough
I hope
questions.
he doesn't get fired over it.
Yeah. Sean said, for instance, like when cops, you ever seen that where they have a description of somebody and they tackle a guy in an alley and start beating the shit out of him, and then they realize they got the wrong guy? That's a crystal ball.
The poor son of a bitch. There are videos
they
like
beat
that.
the living piss out of this guy.
I know. The videos that are crazy are when the cops do that, and then they realize they have done it to the person, and they're still kind of dicky to the guy. You're like, dude.
Well, shouldn't you immediately be like, bruh, let me buy you a soda? I
Humble
am so
pie.
sorry.
Yes.
They don't. They're still all ginned up, and they're yelling at the guy, and the guy didn't do anything.
The guy will be, rightfully mad. Like, you're fucking up the wrong guy.
It's not me. And they're like, there's still attitude in him.
So Virginia dotted up on Friday and Saturday. Recovery is yesterday and today. Is that right?
Yeah, that township had some good food. We had the big soft pretzel, phenomenal. And the cheese, same. Nachos, incredible. They had these thick waffle fries that were seasoned perfect. Chicken tenders. We had chicken wrap. We had Philly cheesesteak.
Okay.
We had so many yummy things yesterday at that township.
Okay, yeah. They did good stuff. They used to have a place in Fort Lauderdale that is now turned into Tin Roof, but I liked it when it was township. I like it when I like Tin Roof. It's nice, but still, it was a cool place. I did like Township.
Gosh, how many times does Tin Roof have to hear? I ain't rusted, probably at their bar.
Tin Roof and Rusty.
Tin Roof. Rusted. The
Rusted.
Tin Roof.
Yeah.
I'm sure they hear that joke from people that are
I don't know.
out of touch.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't think?
No, because I
Just
think
you, dad jokes.
I
Well,
think they
I'm
have
saying
a,
you don't think that happens, though?
I think they have a lot of younger people. Like my daughter, that's where she hangs out. She's a Tin Roof kind of person. She's 25. I think if I did that, she would just look at me like, I don't get it.
What is he doing?
But I think, isn't there a type of person that would do that? And obviously
They'd
people
be the
wouldn't
person
get...
that doesn't belong.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, probably wearing.
So when you do
cargo
that at Tin
shorts
Roof, just get up and leave.
If I'm in Tin Roof, kick my ass right then and there because I'm so not pumped that I'm in Tin Roof. Nothing against Tin Roof, by the way, only because I don't like going to trendy places.
So we got an email from Felix. He said on your little kid or drunk adult from Friday. You remember the one with the shot his brother with a BB gun in the butt?
Yes.
Yeah, he was a little kid, I guess it was. He said, I am the brother, and he's still pretty useless. Just thought you guys should know. So, you heard that, yeah, so he's still salty.
Your daughter Caitlin's in the chat room. She's like, yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Tin Roof.
I didn't think she'd know.
Do only young people
It's an
go there?
old reference to an old song.
Yeah.
But do any old people ever go there, or it's just young
Me,
people?
that's about it.
You would be the oldest that would go there, probably.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
I think for the most
that
part.
young and trendy.
Yeah, typically that's kind of the place where the youngsters wind up going. In fact, I just dropped a question on our KVJ Show Facebook page. We'll probably get to it tomorrow. But the question is, when you went clubbing, where did you go? Because for my daughter, I'm not sure. Probably Tin Roof would be her answer because she's been going to Tin Roof, at least in Delray, for a while, and they go to the one in Fort Lauderdale a good bit now. So where would your place be? Because I was thinking, I'm like, dang, mine would probably be Monkey Club, Club Safari.
Monkey Club, which isn't Monkey Club anymore.
No.
Now it is Pawn Shop, and I'm going there with Magnolia when she's in town this Saturday after Stars Ball. We have a pawn shop party.
Oh my gosh! After Stars Ball, I would turn that shit into yawn shop. I'd be so tired.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm old, homie.
Yeah.
I went to Flirts. Were you guys in town when Flirts was around?
I think it had just ended. A buddy of mine who was like my best friend while he lived here, he was a bartender there at Flirts.
Dude, everybody went to Flirts, and so many people were just there was always just so many sex acts going on. Hand jobs and fingerings.
Really? Okay. They should have called it fingers.
I hope that doesn't happen when I go there.
Finger bang.
Is
there ever been a club named Finger Bang?
Oh my gosh, the place would be so popular.
I am not going to Finger Bang.
But you'd go there and just be a bunch of dudes. Oh, there's a finger banging going on here.
Yeah. There's some places that I miss. I mean, Monkey Club, I think, was in Club Safari were the two places when I got to town, like 99 or before. I know people talked about Cruzan Liquor Stand. That was a place. That is now Twin Peaks. And so I know that was a hot spot there for a while.
I always wondered, too, did I go to some places while you guys were in town and hang out while you guys are doing an event and didn't even know I was there with you guys? I always wonder that.
I was only at one of the two clubs. That was the only two places I
went to
ever
Monkey
was.
Club, though, back in the day.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, back in 99, 2000, I would have been.
Yeah, if you're like the.
And what was that bar called that was across from Roxy's where we used to go and host like a Saturday night, like 11 to 1A party?
Yeah, that was where they had the hookah,
I
right?
remember.
The hookah place.
Yeah, the hookah. Was it a hookah bar?
I
Is
think
that
it
what they
was
called
hookah
The
bar.
hookah bar.
Yeah.
We were in there like every week.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot.
They signed, I think, an 11-year radio contract.
Yeah, Panchita said Club Boca. I remember that. I had gone to Club Boca before. I can't remember what club. We used to go to Lauderdale every now and then. I think there's a club that we'd
Bay
go
Club?
to that I can't remember. I remember they just always throw the napkins up in the air, and all I remember saying like, "That's so wasteful."
There was the Banana Max. Do you guys remember that?
I think I've heard of it.
Up in Jupiter, right where across the street from the Chili's, where that parking garage is now. There was or called the Banana something. It was
Banana Max?
Banana Max or Banana something.
I don't remember, but I think I've heard of it. Oh, Off the Hookah was the hookah bar.
Off the hookah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
That place was big.
And then
Remember,
it
it had like rooms and
It did,
rooms
yeah.
and back rooms, and you're like, whoa. this
Kinda
place is
carnal.
massive. It was carnal.
kind of very, very sexual.
It had like a sex vibe.
You should be wearing a mask and I don't know,
Getting fingered.
getting fingered. Yes, exactly. You're right.
I get a T-shirt. I got fingered at the hookah.
Oh yeah, I just think all those bars are just fingerings.
So much fingers.
Yeah, Anna said Island Jacks And I don't think that's Island Jacks anymore, right? That's changed.
We used to go there all the time
Yeah.
when I first got on the show.
Yeah. Loved Island Jacks.
That's where you set me up on that blind date.
Is that where we were? Were we? Yeah, maybe. I can't remember if that's where we were.
It was
yeah,
that-
I guess. Yeah, I
that
think
restaurant
that
with
is
that-
where we are, yeah. Yeah, we're sitting outside.
It was an accident. It was one of those sneaky blind dates where Kevin bounced out and left me with this girl. Like, oh, I think Kevin's threw me on a blind date.
Did you finger her?
There was no fingerings.
What a pussy.
Didn't take you to the right place then.
Why? You needed to go for it.
Now, if that was in flirts, forget about it.
Everybody getting fingered.
I mean, that's what you do with flirts.
Paul said Waterway Cafe on Sundays. Remember reggae nights?
That it
Yeah.
was so big. And that was big for a long time. I don't know if
Yeah.
it still is.
No, it's not. It's not the same. It was so big, especially around baseball season, because a lot of the Major League Baseball players would go there.
I think they're
big, like,
Yeah,
I think
they
they're
are.
remodeling it
They
right now.
are.
I don't think it's open.
No, it's
You
not.
can't
They
even
shut
go
it down.
there now.
Three Olives. Do you remember that?
I
Spooky
do
movie.
remember Three Olives.
Yeah, where was Three Olives?
Man, kind of fancy for the bird.
And I remember the one place they had. What was the Greek place? Taverna Opa?
We were always there.
Was that the
Every-
one? Ouzo Blue and Taverna Opa. I remember those two Greek places for like a year or two were the hottest spots everybody went to.
Greek was the new Italian.
I was in a Greek restaurant prison every Friday night for, I think, 7 years, it felt like. I was doing some kind of...
and
It
we were
got-
drinking. What was that? What's it called? Grappa? No, the grappa's are the Italian one. What's the Greek one?
Oh, my gosh. It
Ouzo.
was Ouzo.
Ouzo.
Yeah.
We would be drinking that ouzo, and
Right.
we'd be so hammered.
We would get hammered at those
Hammered.
events.
Yeah.
Like,
Because
2 hours of Ouzo drinking.
You're just
Right.
drinking like this straight gasoline.
Yes.
Ouzo is strong.
Dude, you would get out of that appearance and go, oh my gosh, I'm seeing 5 of you.
I don't feel good.
Yeah, the guy who's running Meat Market now in Boca, he used to be the guy that was running Taverna Opa. I was like, oh gosh, yeah. I'm like, I remember that.
That was one city place, right?
Yes.
That could not have been cheap rent.
And I think do they have one in Del Rey?
I thought they did have 2.
Yeah, I think that. In fact, I'm wondering if the one in Del Rey is still open. I'm trying to remember. I thought they had another one. I think it was on the Ave.
That Ouzo place did have good hummus, though. I would always...
They had good food. We would go early and we would eat. So thank goodness we weren't drinking ouzo on an empty stomach.
I was drinking it on an empty stomach, and I would leave with 7 bags of just so much hummus and pita and this fried cheese, and I'd just get on my couch and go, oh, thank God I got all this food.
No girls to finger, but you fingered some food.
If you ain't fingering, you're fooding.
Yeah.
Are you mealing?
You're mealing, yeah. If there ain't no fingering going on, go to the second best option, which is food.
Yeah, so if you want to jump onto our Instagram and our Facebook, we got that up there. We'll get into that. About when you were in the club scene, what was your club? And you can pretty much tell, I think, somebody's age probably based on that.
Definitely.
Yeah. Got another email here about kind of a fun game and the same vibe is, you could name somebody's age by the club they went to. Michael said, we played this game, and it was where you asked 3 questions. The first movie you saw in theaters, first radar movie you saw, and then the first movie you made out in.
Okay.
His first movie he saw in a theater was Cool Runnings. First R-rated movie was Hannibal. First movie he made out in was Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring.
He is 36 years old.
Okay. Virginia has no idea, I'm sure.
I have no clue.
Do you have the answer?
I do. 34.
Okay.
Yeah.
I credit?
Not too bad. Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, at least I tried. At least I gave you an answer.
First movie I remember seeing in a theater, I think, was Superman 2.
Oh, Neil Cesar, son of Jarrell.
Yeah.
Neil Cesar, Virginia. Sorry. I love that movie. I love that
Simmer
movie.
down. It's a Monday. It's a lie.
It is. You're right. It's a lot. I agree.
Nobody's kneeling to Zod.
I'm even annoyed with myself, as you were, Kevin.
First R-rated movie, I think, was Porky's.
Okay.
And then first movie I made out in, I don't know. I don't remember ever being in a movie theater and just making out with somebody.
Really?
I don't know.
No
I'm
one's
trying
got to
remember
put their
that.
fingers to that sweet mullet?
No. I don't really have this. We didn't do movies much when I was in high school or college. We didn't really have much in the way of, we weren't like you fancy city folk that had theaters.
Yeah, we're very fancy in Lake Park.
Yeah, it doesn't really apply to me on that. So,
what's yours? This is fun.
What about you, Virginia? First movie you saw in the theater?
Gosh, that's a good question.
And here comes the speed bump.
I don't even know. I was sitting here trying to think of it. I mean, my mom made a big deal that summer that we went to go see E.T. and Annie, but
that's big.
That's my first real big memory of movies that impacted my life. I love Little Orphan Annie.
There you go. Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
Answer the other questions.
What was the other question?
Oh my god.
I was just thinking. It's hard to think and talk.
Okay. What about you, Bert? What do you think? First movie you saw in theaters?
Game's ruined. First movie I saw in the movies was Return of the Jedi.
Okay. First R-rated movie.
It was Friday the 13th, and that was before
the original.
The original, 1980, and I remember just being scared as fuck seeing it, but also being so thrilled and excited. Not like that.
Charged up?
No, not like that.
Ready to finger?
I didn't mean it like that.
He had a finger boner.
Yes, but it was fun.
And what about the first movie you made out in?
The Rookie with Clint Eastwood and Charlie Sheen.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, you remember all that?
I do. I was in 8th grade and she was in 10th grade. And she was a lot more experienced than the bird. And she was coming off dating someone who was 18 and I was only 13.
Oh, she wanted the finger.
She did. You
didn't know what to do with it.
No, I was so nervous.
How many wrong holes did you put it in before you found the right one?
Man, it.
They'll let you know pretty quick, Kev.
That's my butt.
we never even had sex. I was too innocent, and we dated for 5 months. I was just too innocent.
Oh yeah, you like that? That's my butt.
I sucked. That was the girl. I asked her to do something on the Friday night, and we hadn't done anything in a while. And I'm like, "Hey, you want to go out Friday?" She goes, "Oh, Jason, that's such a fun night, though." That's when I knew it was over. Yeah, she was having sex with a guy named Michael, and I think getting hammered a lot, drinking hammered.
You invited her out for a Friday night, and she was like, "Oh no, that's such a fun night. I don't want to spend it with you."
She was in high school. I was in middle school, and I didn't drink, and she was drinking. She was getting turned.
You're that Monday guy.
She wanted to drink and fucking get her O-face.
She was ready to get on it.
I was so fucking innocent.
This is a fun photo that was sent in here from Noel. Here's a Superstar twofer to make Kevin and Jay Bird happy. Dave Grohl and Corey Feldman hanging out backstage. That probably was the Austin City Limits that the Foo Fighters played over the weekend.
Love Dave Grohl. I'm not a Feldman fan anymore.
No, you guys were playing some funny clips of him, though, last week where
he's comedy funny.
He's comedy funny. He had guys in his band trying to do some chant. It was too long, and the crowd wasn't chanting back because it was it's too difficult.
It was too many words.
It's his song, "The Comeback King," and you could tell this was such a Feldman idea. And you're right, he makes his band chant it for obnoxiously long.
Do you remember it was like,
"Here he comes, the comeback kid." It's too
Here
long.
He comes, the comeback kid. But they're all not in sync. First of all their microphones are not working.
Here he comes, the comeback kid.
Yeah, here he comes, and then Feldman dashes onto the
stage while no one's chanting what they wanted to chant.
But the drummer is supposed to link it up with the computer, and it doesn't link up. And so you hear the drums out of sync with the computer version of it.
Oh my
god! And then
gosh.
Feldman gets pissed off at the drummer. Oh, can't we do this on time, guys?
That's so funny.
Then the guitar player goes to play his guitar. It's not plugged in. He goes across the stage to yell at the person doing the DJing. It's amazing.
He's yelling at the DJ.
All of this on stage, right in
just-
front of the audience.
It's just honestly, his live shows are hysterical.
They're great.
You know, it reminds me of when I was a kid. There was a comedy movie called Spinal Tap, and it was a spoof on all the hair bands and just all the dumb things that they would do. But I mean, he's a movie in and of himself. He reminds me kind of like of a musical version of what's the guy that did that really cringy movie? He almost looks like Corey Feldman with the long dark hair.
Tommy Wiseau, The Room.
Yes, he seems like a musical version of that guy.
He is. That would be a pretty good.
It just
Well,
doesn't quite get it.
The other thing too I'm very well versed in Corey Feldman. I've done the deep dive.
Yeah.
I just think I think he lies a lot. I think
Okay.
he's not truthful. I think he's kind of scammy, and I think I don't like him. I think he's a little slimy.
And what's the weird thing? You said that Denny's son doesn't like Corey Feldman. He cries every time he plays.
I've never seen Baby Lachlan cry, and I've seen him cry 3 times in the last week, and every time it's because a Corey Feldman song came on.
Isn't that unreal?
That's a real thing.
What the heck?
What the heck?
I guess you can't play any Corey Feldman.
No, I can't play Feldman in front of.
Stop terrorizing the
We
children.
didn't realize it until wait a minute. Oh, hey! Oh my gosh, Corey Feldman.
It's the song.
It's Corey Feldman in general. We probably watch a little too much Corey Feldman.
Nicole said, I heard you guys were talking about Coldplay on Friday. Coldplay collaborated with K-pop group BTS. The song is called My Universe. And Chris Martin traveled to South Korea for 3 days just to meet BTS and record the song. That's the song I think you're talking about, Jay Bird.
Okay.
And Andy said on Friday's show, you were talking about the lights Coldplay at other sporting venues provided to fans. And I got to tell you, it's not new. Light sticks were invented by the K-pop group Big Bang in 2006. And they've been a staple in the K-pop industry. Yeah, it's used a lot in football. And I think what it was kind of like more like bands that people are putting on their wrist because these look like actual sticks. But yeah, it was kind of you add to it so the audience is part of the light show that goes on. It's kind of a cool concept. So maybe it started in K-pop and it's expanding to other lit performances. So thank you, K-pop, for your contributions to the lighting industry that is happening.
Well, are you really going to watch that thing you do?
Not for a long time.
You won't.
It'd be a while. I mean, I don't get back to watching normal stuff really until football season's over.
But do you also kind of find yourself struggling with all the new stuff that's out there, going back to watch older stuff? I feel like you personally do tend to not want to watch the old stuff. Am I
do all
off
the time,
on that?
but I don't. Yeah, but if there's something that I missed and just never watched, like that movie, then I might give it a shot. Just to kind of know what all the talk is about.
I don't know if you're going to love it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the right thing for a Ralston to do. I think Virginia would like that movie.
Okay.
And I think Rocco would like that movie.
Okay.
I wish you would just watch a fucking suggestion I give you, Virginia.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah, I don't know if it is, dog.
Kathy said, I've been watching the podcast on Thursday, and you had a comment about Donald Trump and Mar-a-Lago about his roof tiles being made on the thighs of women in Italy. I work for a roofing supply company, and I handle all the roof tile for our branch. And I've heard of this before, so I called the manufacturer to confirm. About 30 to 40 years ago, this is how those Spanish tiles were made. That is why it is larger on one end and smaller on the other. Now, they don't do it that way anymore, though, but the tile is very expensive, about $375 a square.
Whoa.
Wow, how about that? So I guess that's why that was a thing, and
It
he was making
was
a deal
made
when the appraisal came up.
By the thighs of women.
It sounded so preposterous, but how about that?
Back in the day, they did do it like that.
Yeah. Here's a suggestion to take. Blue Ridge, Georgia, full-blown Bigfoot country. There is a giant, large town square there, about 1,000 life-size cutouts of Bigfoot placed in the woods along the roads, as well as dozens of themed stores. They got restaurants, even a museum with the world record-size wooden Bigfoot, bones of a Bigfoot, and even a Sasquatch toilet snake that's longer than a human arm. You can see in that photo right there. That's Bigfoot poo? That's what they try to say, at least.
They got so many of those cool Bigfoot statues that are out there. That wooden one I love. My dream's to get one of those Bigfoot statues eventually. They are kind of a pretty penny. A lot of it too. They don't have Bigfoot statues down here in South Florida. So if you're going to order that, the shipping is through the roof, Virginia. How does a man survive?
I think you're going to have to do a local pickup. Whenever you do buy that thing, you're going to have to drive to wherever it is or see it in a roadside place that has a good deal on it. A lot of places that have like the garden sculptures have stuff like that.
How far is insane to drive to go to give it a Bigfoot statue here in South Florida?
You've been to Ohio for a Sasquatch festival, so.
You are right. But
Georgia, that's nothing.
There was more to that than just the Sasquatch festival. There's your dad, and there was, doing a fun thing for the show.
But I do remember when we would drive to Atlanta all the time, there were a lot of Bigfoot signs I would see on the road. Now, I don't know if I was going through the right area, but Georgia does seem to have a Bigfoot thing.
And there's parts of Florida, too, that it gets weird with these odd shops.
You got to get off the beaten path. You got to get like in the backwoods. You got to go by like the cool little markets and stores and stuff that's like not the turnpike.
St. Augustine's got some cool stuff like that.
Yes.
They had. That's why I got a lot of dinosaur shit. But yeah, it was in this weird, odd little town.
Like a one light town.
Yes.
Yes.
We feel like there's got to be corruption because there's no one really watching it.
There's a bunch of places like that around the Smoky Mountains where there's just like a little roadside. It's a guy that does like woodworking or pottery or both, and he's got a whole shop set up.
Yeah, the shop I stopped at, it felt like a movie. Even the guy there, how's it going? Well, I might have some dinosaur. Like he just seemed like a character.
I do have a lot of jerky. Do you want to buy some jerky? They always have jerky.
You walked in there and you remember the moment.
And that is a supposed Sasquatch skull. So apparently they have proof of Bigfoot at this museum.
That shit would look so tight on my dining room table.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna eat next to that?
And how about that? That is that's a Bigfoot statue made of sticks.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
That would be amazing in my yard.
That will not hold up in a hurricane.
No.
That fucking thing would be annihilated.
The sticks would just be flying all over the place.
Yeah.
Hey, I bought this sculpture. It's called projectile sculpture.
It's called the death of
Your
Bigfoot.
neighbors are going to be like, fuck you.
They call it the blinder. Fly right into your eyes.
So many twigs.
Oh, my God. Imagine.
That would be.
Stick your head outside to see what's going on with the storm. And
You're a dick if you buy that in hurricane season and put that in your yard. Your neighbors would hate you.
Yeah, that could be rough. All right, well, thank you for all the ideas. You can always send them to us, mail@kvjshow.com. Enjoy your Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.